The film centers on Edward Lemuel, a playwright who lives in isolation, burdened by a severe facial disfigurement. Edward's appearance has made him the subject of societal scorn, shaping his life with rejection and loneliness. The opening sequence sets the tone with Edward struggling to navigate a world that sees him as an outsider. Edward's life takes a dramatic turn when he is offered an opportunity to undergo experimental reconstructive surgery through a clinical trial led by the enigmatic Dr. Eugene Flexner. The procedure promises not only physical transformation but also a chance to reclaim his life and identity. A fractured existence. Edward's daily life is depicted as bleak and routine, punctuated by brief interactions with neighbors and strangers who either pity or avoid him. He works on plays that reflect his inner turmoil, using writing as a means of escape. Despite his struggles, Edward finds solace in fleeting connections. His neighbor, Ingrid, offers moments of warmth and curiosity, but even these interactions are tinged with awkwardness. Edward remains guarded, fearing judgment and betrayal. The transformation. After consulting with Dr. Flexner, Edward agrees to the experimental procedure. The surgery is portrayed in an unsettling montage of clinical precision and ambiguous outcomes. The procedure not only alters Edward's face but also becomes a catalyst for profound psychological changes. As Edward recovers, he grapples with his new identity. The face staring back at him in the mirror is unrecognizable, leading to moments of existential crisis. Edward's transformation brings new opportunities and challenges, as people now perceive him differently. A new persona. With his new appearance, Edward begins to re-enter society, navigating relationships and professional opportunities with newfound confidence. He becomes the subject of fascination and envy, embodying society's obsession with physical beauty. However, Edward's past continues to haunt him. The trauma of years spent as an outsider manifests in paranoia and self-doubt. He questions whether his transformation is merely skin-deep, as he struggles to reconcile his external appearance with his internal identity. Confrontation with the past. Edward's journey takes a darker turn as he becomes fixated on Ostermeyer, the actor portraying him in a theatrical adaptation of his life. Obsessed with the authenticity of Ostermeyer's performance, Edward infiltrates the production, blurring the line between reality and fiction. This act of voyeurism reveals Edward's deep-seated insecurities and his inability to let go of his old self. His interactions with Ostermeyer become increasingly confrontational, culminating in a tense exchange that forces Edward to confront the question of who he truly is. Acceptance or despair. The climax of the film is marked by Edward's realization that physical transformation cannot erase the scars of his past. The film ends ambiguously, with Edward either embracing his identity or succumbing to despair. His journey raises profound questions about self-acceptance, societal perceptions, and the nature of identity. Identity and transformation. The film explores the complexities of identity, questioning whether external change can lead to internal healing. Edward's transformation highlights the tension between appearance and self-perception. Society's obsession with beauty. Through Edward's experiences, the film critiques society's fixation on physical appearance and its impact on self-worth. Isolation and connection. Edward's journey is marked by his struggle to connect with others, reflecting the universal desire for acceptance and belonging. Art and reality. The theatrical adaptation of Edward's life serves as a metaphor for the interplay between art and reality, blurring the boundaries between the two. Edward's isolation. Edward Lemuel lives a life defined by his disfigurement, which acts as both a physical and emotional barrier to the world around him. From the outset, we see Edward navigating a society that marginalizes him. His interactions are brief and transactional, often marked by awkward glances or outright avoidance from others. Edward's solace lies in his art. As a playwright, he channels his experiences into writing, creating deeply personal works that explore themes of alienation and identity. However, these plays remain largely unnoticed, mirroring Edward's own obscurity in a world obsessed with appearances. The decision to change. Edward's life begins to shift when he learns about an experimental reconstructive surgery conducted by Dr. Eugene Flexner, a leading figure in facial reconstruction. Desperate for change, Edward decides to take part in the trial, viewing it as his only chance to escape his loneliness. Dr. Flexner's consultations are clinical yet unsettling, emphasizing the risks and psychological implications of the procedure. Edward's decision is fraught with anxiety, but the promise of a new beginning outweighs his fears. The surgery and its aftermath. The surgery itself is portrayed through a surreal and disorienting montage, blending medical precision with Edward's subconscious fears. The scenes are accompanied by haunting visuals of Edward's fragmented self-image, reflecting his internal turmoil. When Edward wakes up, his face is transformed. The man in the mirror is unrecognizable, handsome, confident, and entirely different from the person Edward believed himself to be. While this change initially brings a sense of liberation, it also ushers in a new set of challenges. Edward begins to step out of his shell, exploring a world that now treats him with kindness and curiosity. For the first time, he experiences what it means to be accepted based on appearance. Yet, this acceptance feels hollow, as Edward struggles to reconcile his outward transformation with his inner identity. The obsession with Ostermeyer. Edward's story takes an unexpected turn when he discovers that one of his plays is being adapted into a theatrical production. The lead actor, Ostermeyer, has been cast to portray Edward in his pre-surgery life. Fascinated and disturbed by Ostermeyer's performance, Edward becomes obsessed with ensuring the portrayal is accurate. He begins attending rehearsals incognito, watching from the shadows as Ostermeyer embodies his former self. This fixation deepens as Edward feels both anger and envy toward the actor. Ostermeyer's portrayal forces Edward to confront the aspects of himself he thought he had left behind, reigniting feelings of shame and inadequacy. Confrontation and collapse. Edward's obsession with Ostermeyer culminates in a series of confrontations. Initially, Edward approaches the actor under the guise of providing feedback, but these interactions grow more intense and erratic. Edward accuses Ostermeyer of exploiting his pain for art, while Ostermeyer counters that Edward's fixation reveals unresolved issues with his identity. At the same time, Edward's relationships begin to unravel. His neighbor Ingrid, who once showed him compassion, becomes distant as Edward's behavior grows unpredictable. The newfound social acceptance Edward enjoyed starts to feel superficial, deepening his sense of alienation. A haunting resolution. The film's climax is marked by Edward attending the play's opening night. Watching his former self come to life on stage is both cathartic and devastating. The play becomes a mirror, forcing Edward to confront the reality that his transformation was not a cure for his internal struggles. In the final scenes, Edward retreats into solitude, grappling with the realization that identity cannot be reconstructed through physical change alone. The ending is deliberately ambiguous, leaving the audience to question whether Edward finds peace or succumbs to despair. The nature of identity. The film's central question revolves around identity. Is it defined by appearance, perception, or something deeper? Edward's transformation challenges the notion that physical change can resolve emotional wounds, highlighting the complexities of self-perception and societal validation. The duality of beauty. Edward's new appearance grants him access to a world that once rejected him, but this acceptance feels conditional and superficial. The film critiques society's obsession with beauty, exposing its power and its limitations. Art as a reflection of life. The theatrical adaptation of Edward's life serves as a powerful metaphor for self-reflection. Through Ostermeyer's performance, Edward is forced to confront the parts of himself he tried to escape, illustrating the inescapable nature of one's past. Edward's journey underscores the universal desire for connection and the pain of isolation. His interactions with Ingrid, Ostermeyer, and Dr. Flexner reveal the challenges of forming genuine relationships while grappling with self-acceptance. Mirrors and reflections. Mirrors play a significant role in the film, symbolizing Edward's struggle with identity. These moments visually underscore the disconnect between Edward's internal and external selves. Theatrical motifs. The play within the film serves as a narrative device, blurring the lines between reality and performance. It reinforces the idea that identity is both personal and performative, shaped by how we see ourselves and how others see us. Ambiguous ending. The film's conclusion leaves Edward's fate unresolved, inviting viewers to reflect on their own perceptions of identity and transformation. This ambiguity adds depth to the narrative, encouraging continued discussion and interpretation. Conclusion: a complex exploration of self. A Different Man is a haunting and thought-provoking film that delves into the intricacies of identity, beauty, and self-acceptance. Through its rich character development and layered narrative, the movie offers a deeply personal yet universally resonant exploration of the human condition. Edward's journey is both a cautionary tale and a poignant reminder that true transformation comes from within. By blending psychological drama with themes of art and reality, A Different Man challenges audiences to reconsider the meaning of identity in a world that often equates worth with appearance. A haunting exploration of identity. A Different Man is a thought-provoking psychological drama that delves into themes of identity, beauty, and self-acceptance. Through its complex characters and poignant narrative, the film offers a gripping exploration of the human condition, leaving audiences to ponder the true nature of transformation and redemption. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.